So today, or with the career treks, these are virtual site visits. So students are able to hear from professionals about different industries. And to put this event on today, there is a group of professionals from around the state in career and career services that are called the Career Trek Committee. So definitely a huge shout out to that committee for organizing these opportunities for students this semester. These opportunities have been available since 2020, and this is our second, going on our third year. So these will be available on Tuesdays at 2, and they will be recorded. So if you'd like to watch today's presentation, you can do that. Next week, we will have Aspirus Health that will be presenting. So as we look at different industries today, we have Goodwill. We have Lori Collins, an HR director, and I am going to turn the presentation over to Lori.
Great, thank you, Jamie. I'm gonna just pull up.
Lori, I don't think we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my presentation. Let me try it one more time. Thanks for bearing with us. I think we just need to switch the.
Yep, it must have flipped. You are back as co-host.
Excellent, thank you. So we were having a couple of technical difficulties on my end with playing the video. So we're going to give it a whirl and see if we can play the video during this presentation. If we can't, we'll just talk through it. I am very excited, honored to be here. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your day today to talk a little bit about Goodwill NCW. I think when we talk about what Goodwill has to offer and what Goodwill is all about, I do feel like there's a perception that we're all about the retail stores, which is a big part of our world. But there's also a lot of other components of Goodwill NCW that I'd like to share today. So I have a bit of an agenda in terms of what we're going to talk about. So today's presentation is going to include the history of Goodwill. We're going to talk about our mission, guiding principles, and values. A component of our work, which is mission services, and then I'll share a little bit about our benefits and wellness, some career pathing, and then really just what it means from a recruitment perspective. So very excited to share a lot of just different types of things that we can offer here at Goodwill NCW. So who we are starts with our history. So it began with a simple idea in 1902. So if we could take a step back and understand how Goodwill became what we are today. Goodwill is everywhere. People know Goodwill as a place to shop and donate. We all report to Goodwill Industries International, which is based in Maryland. Today, there are 155 regional Goodwill organizations in the US, Canada, and across the world. There are more than 3,200 Goodwill stores in North America. But it began in 1902 with Reverend Edgar J. Helms, who saw people in need of clothing and basic household items. He gathered donations from wealthier communities and wanted to give them to the people in need for free. But they didn't want that. They didn't want a handout, but a hand up. And so his idea took hold and became what we are known as today as the Goodwill Industries International. So Wisconsin has 5 different Goodwill regions. We have a southwestern Wisconsin, a south central Wisconsin, northern and upper Michigan, Goodwill Easter Seals, which is in that Minneapolis and St. Paul area, and then North Central Wisconsin, which is our region. We are all not-for-profit human services organization that are connected by Goodwill Industries International, referenced as GIS. So I'm going to see if this works. Can anyone hear the video?
No, we cannot hear the video.
All right, so we're going to pause and move on to the next screen. So here in North Central Wisconsin, our beginnings took root in a remodeled airport hangar in Menasha in 1962. That led to our incorporation in 1971. Goodwill Industries of the Fox Valley was created and incorporated, and there's still a need for us to become our own region. In 1972, a second Goodwill store opened in Green Bay, and that just led to continued growth of our programs and stores. And today we have 27 stores plus our outlet, and celebrated our 50th anniversary in 2021. So if we look at our footprint, this is where we are in North Central Wisconsin. So we have multiple locations. So we have 27 stores all the way from Rice Lake down to La Crosse, over to Manitowoc and Rhinelander, and in the Fox Valley. We're all over. We have 4 donation expresses, which allows for people to simply drop off their donations. And those donation expresses are located in De Pere, the Green Bay area, Kaukauna, and Appleton. We also have a warehouse and logistics area located in the Fox Valley, which accepts donations and is sorted and stored in a warehouse. We also have a team that includes truck drivers and forklift operators. We have a new goods team, which prepares new merchandise for our sale in our stores. We supplement that with donated goods in our stores with a few new items, such as Halloween makeup, paper plates, socks, hats, mittens, that kind of thing. Our post-retail sales team, also known as PRS, handles the responsibility of recycled items that don't sell in our stores and finding other outlets for our donated goods. So we do want to keep things out of our landfills and being able to sell or to recycle. We have an e-commerce business, which is responsible for listing certain donated goods online. So when we think about donated goods, I want to share a brief story. So we had a donated travel bag. It came in through a store. The team member thought, oh my gosh, this looks like, I'm not sure what we would do with it. I don't think we could sell it. He ended up saying, gosh, there's something about it that I feel like we can't throw it away. He sent it to our e-commerce team. It ended up being a Louis Vuitton travel bag from when they incorporated the new travel bag, and we ended up selling it on our e-commerce business online for somebody that was very interested in it for $12,000. So when I think about the money and the ability to take that $12,000 and go back into our mission, that's what a donation, and that's what your donation goes towards, and it's very exciting. The e-commerce business is all online. And then we also have our campus location, which houses all of our corporate office and our teams such as HR, finance, IT, and that type of business. So everything we do has a purpose. At Goodwill, we find that purpose in our mission, guiding principles, and values. Our mission is elevating people by eliminating barriers to employment. It's why we do what we do. A mission statement serves as an internal purpose to define what we do and how the organization serves. It also helps those outside of the organization understand the value the organization brings to them. So why do we want to be a mission-based business? Well, it really is to focus our efforts and work and decisions on improving individuals' lives and our communities. We want to make sure that people are able to eliminate barriers to employment at all times. We are a Goodwill family and unconditionally care for each other and nurture each other to be the best we can for one another and the communities we serve. And this sets us apart from other retail stores. We are what we call retail with a heart. Our mission-based organization can provide professional and personal satisfaction. Many of us spend more time at work than we do with our partners, families, or friends. As a result, we find doing work with a good purpose, and we can make a big difference and not just share our satisfaction with our professional lives, but with our lives in general. Goodwill looks for individuals to hire that enjoy working in a position that serves a good purpose, which is probably what you all want to do. We look beyond just how qualified a candidate is for a job. We embrace and accept the responsibility of developing one another. We want to invest in each other, and that's really important to our mission and to why people want to come to work every day. We want team members and leaders who are going to complement our values and our culture. To help with your development, we have access to some pretty great resources that we'd like to share throughout this presentation. So just as a start, we do have our values and our guiding principles, which I'll just go over very briefly. And these are all just, I would say, values that anyone can wrap their head around. They're the care for people. We want to create your impact and celebrate the possible. We think big and take action, whether that means, your own personal goals or, something that you want to grow and develop within yourself. We also are accountable. We want people to be accountable for the work that they do. We expect everyone to own their business. So whatever that means to you, owning your business is important. And then be a great Goodwill team member. We want to attract and retain talented team members who care about the work that they do and help to support each other. And these values and guiding principles really help us to live our values each and every day. So our mission in action. So when we think about what makes Goodwill NCW unique, it's our mission. Our mission is integrated. So we have team members and people that we are providing jobs for that may have disabilities or other barriers to employment. And we want to be able to see that in our stores. So instead of only supporting the mission financially, we choose to make sure that people can shine in the roles that they're in. Not only do we want to see them, we want to give them a wide variety of skills and training. So when you think about donated goods, we have people who drop off donated goods. We repurpose those gently used donated items, and then we take revenue from those sales and that support Goodwill programs. And we invest those dollars back into our community programs, work programs, and financial programs. And then that helps to create a full potential for team members for creating pathways, skill building, and to allow for them to have meaningful work. All of this addresses our makeup of our communities to help build a better place to live for each and every one of us. So when you look at how each and every one of you may make our mission happen, so when you drop off donated goods, those dollars allow for, so the number of job training hours that an average donation and purchase provides for neighbors in your community for every 5 hours. We also have 51.1 million pounds of donations diverted from landfills, helping fuel job skills training and other opportunities in 2021. So when you think about just 51.1 million pounds out of the landfills, that feels really good from a sustainability perspective. And just the value that we place on trying to recycle and reuse instead of adding to our landfills. And then almost 1 million hours are the number of hours our mission program participants received of on-the-job training within our retail stores in 2021. So I'm sorry, I said 1,099,905 hours. So pretty incredible to think about what is happening in our stores and how we're supporting team members and different program participants within our communities. So this talks about mission matters if you make it matter. So our communities need life-changing work that we can deliver, and our organization stands ready. Goodwill NCW has been elevating people by eliminating barriers to employment for more than 50 years. And the 3 key areas that we're focusing on moving forward within the next couple of years is skill building, sustained employment, and financial stability. So we will do this by investing in our mission programming, optimizing our mission integrated operations in stores, and expanding our e-commerce reach and expertise, and then finding new ways to positively impact our environment and helping to divert nearly 50 million pounds annually from Wisconsin landfills. One of the things that we're doing this year specifically is going from plastic bags to no bags at all, and wanting to have that recycled bag. So we have an effort this year to create a reusable bag that people can buy, so that we're not spending dollars for plastic bags that are that could eventually land in a landfill. Expanding our community partnerships will allow us to co-design and deliver high quality skill building programs in a targeted way, impacting underserved, underrepresented, and disadvantaged job seekers and leading to sustained employment, and then increasing that earning potential and improved financial stability. So those core measures, what we're really trying to do is target the number of participants who complete training and learn to be able to develop skills, the number of percent of participants passing job skill competency exams or assessments on initial attempt after completing a course. That sustained employment is really the number of and percent of participants placed in a job, and then those working still after 12 months in that same role. And then when you think about the importance of financial stability, it's those that have increased their earning from intake to 12-month placement. So very excited to really focus on the skill building to meet that measure of sustained employment, and then to increase that financial stability that, when people are building goals and they're striving for their goals, how important that is. When you think about the diversity of our world and where we're at, access, inclusion, and belonging is obviously very important. So again, when we talk about how important it is, we remain committed to diversity and creating inclusive environments where everyone can, from all types of backgrounds, can do their best work. And then we know that we've got a social impact and corporate responsibility to make a difference in our communities, and we want to reach each and every community that we can to help support that financial stability, that job placement, and those skill building capabilities. And then the bottom just talks about examples of who we may serve. So we may serve team members, minority populations, recipients of public assistance, English language learners, custodial single parents, previously incarcerated, chronically unemployed, at-risk youth, below median income, unemployed, homeless, and then really just any in need of market valued skills. So again, when we think about the people that we serve, it's a diverse background and people that we want to be able to help support within our communities. Let me skip this slide. So again, when we think about sustainability, I think that's a really important feature that I want to focus on from a Goodwill perspective. So sustainability is a focus that when I think about where people are at and how we want to be able to save our earth, this is one way in which we've done it. So reducing emissions by limiting transportation and warehousing of goods. So in the past, we used to ship our donated goods all over the place and expand our footprint. But thinking about limiting transportation, not having so much high gas prices and limited emissions through our truck driving, we've reduced emissions for our communities. We're also reducing landfill usage by giving what we don't sell in our stores another chance at our outlet stores. And when I think about sometimes in TikTok, we're seeing the bins and people referencing the bins. That's a lot of our outlet stores and reselling and selling by the bulk. And then using recycled storage materials for sorting and storing donations. So we have a big footprint here in terms of sustainability. The next section that I want to just briefly go over is around some of our programs. So we have a lot of different programs, community programs, work programs, and financial programs that help to support team members and community members. The ones in the red we're going to talk a little bit more about. But when I think about a Good Neighbor program or Miracle League, many of you have heard of, or may have heard of our Miracle League baseball teams, where we have differently abled people who will want to learn about how to play baseball and be a part of a team, but maybe haven't been given that opportunity and can join our Miracle Leagues throughout the state of Wisconsin. I'm going to share a little bit about our Good Neighbor program. So Goodwill NCW partners with community organizations to provide vouchers for people in need. So they can use those vouchers to get clothing and other necessary items in our stores. And in 2021, we gave away $1.1 million in merchandise to people in need. We have a work program, which is called the School to Work program. Goodwill partners with 54 school districts to help students with barriers to employment. We provide valuable work experience for students in stores. These work experiences help to bridge the gap between classroom and working in the community. And when I think about, some of the opportunities with School to Work, it really is, how do you provide help and support to a team, to a student who may never have had the opportunity to work in the past. This is their first experience going into a working environment, and provide the support and feedback, which I think is really exciting. The next one is one of our financial programs, which is Financial and Debt Solutions. And this provides counseling and education to team or community members who maybe have concerns with their finances. They have gone through bankruptcy. They're trying to manage their student loans, and maybe just need debt management plan because they have debt that they cannot manage. And so again, great. We refer people to this type of program to help get them back on board to be able to strive for financial stability. The next one that I'm going to talk about is just briefly is our benefits. So when we think about care for people, it's important to have that balance of good benefits and a great work environment. And Goodwill provides both. So we care about our people and we provide different benefits that help to support them from a health and wellness perspective. So working at Goodwill NCW makes a difference in the communities we serve, and we really want to be able to provide a variety of health and wellness for our team members. So if you were to come on board with us as a member, we offer dental, vision, life insurance, education reimbursement. So one of the things that we offer is tuition reimbursement as a full-time team member working 30 to 40 hours. And when I think about how important tuition reimbursement is as a college student, it is a great sell because, when you can go to school, you can take classes, and you can receive education reimbursement to be able to pay for those classes, and really to be able to strive to get the education that you're looking for. So something really just, very important. The next thing that I want to talk briefly about is career pathways. So when we think about, we had talked originally about retail, I think that's what people think about when we think about Goodwill, but that is just one path. So, you can come in and be, a cashier, or you can work in the back room and be a production specialist. But we have a pathway in our retail program, which is you can start out in the production area, but you could become a senior production where you're taking on level of work or being a resource to the rest of the team members. And then you can move up to a shift leader where maybe you open or close the store and have some additional responsibilities. And then you could move up to a team leader, which is, really being able to manage a whole department, whether that's the front of the house or the back of the house. And then you could move up to a store team leader role, which is managing an entire store. And then we also have different positions, which are called regional team leaders, which manage up to 7 stores or 7 stores plus. So again, when you think about that career path, it really is just the opportunity to learn, grow, and be developed. And that's, I would say, really exciting when you think about that career development. Not every location has that ability to have a career path, and this is just one of them. The next one that I want to talk about is our mission career path. So when I think about, the different types of careers that you can go into, this is really just mission, and it's mission with a heart. So a job coach may be somebody that will go in and help to support our maybe a participant that has some barriers and they need help with support of their job. And so we could the job coach will be right alongside of them to show them, redirect them, help to answer questions, but they're really there to help for that development and that success of that participant. The next role could be a senior job coach, which is working your way up to be that resource for other job coaches. We also have an assistant case manager, which will help to manage a workload and different types of cases and be able to be a partner to families and be an advocate for that participant, but also be able to be that liaison for questions, or they may need social services or may need other resources. There's definitely steps that you can take to work your way up through a career path in the mission side of our business. We also, when I think about elevated roles, we have leader roles within this area, and then program leaders and program managers who support a full program. So again, when you think about that career pathway, there's a lot of opportunity. I'm going to move to the next step, which is career pathways at our campus location. So this is, I think, again, when you think about the different pathways in which you are going to school for your career or for your major, one of the things that we offer is just the breadth of different types of roles here at our campus location. So we have a human resources department, we have a finance department, an IT department, marketing, our mission that I explained before, our retail that I explained before, and then we have a full facilities department. So, we offer a breadth of different types of roles here at Goodwill, and thinking about just the different types of paths. It might not be human services, but it could be communications, or it could be human resources, it could be IT, but we definitely offer a huge breadth of different types of positions that are very exciting and could meet the different skills of, what type of field you're looking to go into. The other pathway that I want to talk about are internships. So we have in the past had multiple internships in these different departments. We've had some in human resources. We've had some in IT. We've also had some in our mission side of the business, and then our retail side and our mission job coach side. So I'll just give you an example. Today, we have an intern in our department in HR. He came in and he said, you know what, I really want to learn all of HR because I'm not sure. He's in his senior year. He of his undergraduate going to graduate school, and he was really interested in learning about certain areas, but wasn't sure where he wanted to go. He was graduating it with an HR focus or emphasis. Didn't think that he really wanted to get into recruitment, thought he wanted to get more into maybe the compensation field in human resources. So we ended up offering him a full experience from an HR perspective. So we said, you know what, we're going to give you every piece of the HR experience that we have here. So we gave him a couple of weeks in the summer around leaves of absence, in recruitment, in compensation, in benefits, in the business partner role, and then in the HRIS, or that human capital management path. And so he got a couple of weeks all summer long with each of those paths. And to me, it felt like he had a really well-rounded experience in HR for his internship. He ended up staying on with us. He's going to work part-time while he's going to school, and then we're going to explore possibilities when he gets out of school while he's going into his graduate program. So, when I think about just the different types of internships, we have so many different career paths. Again, it's not just working in a store in a location. It's really exploring different types of experiences, and whatever that path may be, we definitely have the ability to explore internships. We have retail internships for leadership roles. I think we have an IT internships that we've had in the past. So, I think internships really give you that ability to learn about the organization and learn about the area of focus that you're taking in school. And I think Goodwill does a really good job of investing in their interns to be able to understand the roles and the work that we do. So I'll leave it at that. Where will your path lead you at Goodwill if that's your next step? So I think I'll pause here. Jamie, can we open it up maybe for questions?
Definitely. All right. Thank you all for participating today. Lori is interested in answering any of your questions. If you would like to type them into the chat, I can read them off. Well, Lori, I'll start with the famous question that I always get as I work with lots of different students on a campus.
Okay.
So if a student is interested in applying for an internship or maybe a part-time opportunity with Goodwill, what is the best way for them to apply or make that connection to you or your team?
Sure. So I would say that so there's two ways I would say. The first way would be to look at our open positions. So we have open positions out on our Goodwill site. So it's goodwillncw.org. And we have a job site that lists all of our locations and all of our jobs that are available today. I would also say, though, that if you're interested in an internship or interested in a position that maybe you don't see out there out of this conversation, I'd be more than happy for you to give me some contact information, or you can reach out to me directly and we would get you in contact with our recruiters who could help to support you in that journey.
Excellent. So one other question, Lori, can you talk about the different types of internships within the various units within Goodwill North Central Wisconsin? So you talked about the HR internship in your office. What are some other common internships that you have undergraduate students in?
Sure. So one of the other internships that we have is the IT internship. So I can give you an example of that. So we had a gentleman who applied for our internship. We had multiple candidates for this IT internship. But he was really interested in a certain path. You know, when you think about that, the networking piece of IT, he was very interested in that. So he applied for the position. He worked all summer. We gave him some opportunities around building some, so taking what we had and then developing some different ideas, some different inputs into how things are processed from data entry into being able to do reporting. And he really was able to do a lot of really neat things. And then he ended up applying for a full-time position out of that internship and is now a full-time team member after he graduated. So I would say that's one that I can share. We also have what I would say is a retail internship. So it's really filling what we call a shift leader position. So it's a store position, but it's a leadership position at the store. I would say that this is more of, I would say, a little bit more flexibility while you're going to school. So this is more of a little bit of a longer, let's say 8 or 12 week position where you learn about the retail business, you learn about opening and closing, you learn a little bit more about leadership and about running reports, how to, what that contact is in terms of development of team members, how you give direction, how you give support to team members. And we have those all over our locations because we have those 27 different locations to help support in the retail areas. So that's another one that we've explored as well. So, I think we are coming up with internships and ideas with internships because that's just a part of our business. And so we definitely want to explore as many possibilities as we can. So I would periodically check on our sites if you don't see anything, because that's something that we've definitely are willing to explore with different types of schools and locations.
Perfect. Excellent. Any other questions from the students or other participants that are with us today?
And do you want me to pull this up? No. All right, excellent. Anything else that I can answer?
Well, Lori, I greatly appreciate your time today. I'm excited to learn more about Goodwill as UW Oshkosh has worked pretty closely with Goodwill with all of the opportunities for students. Great to see the whole area that North Central Wisconsin covers, which includes the majority of the students that were on this call today and in the UW system. Next week, we will have another UW system career track, and it will be with Aspirus Health. So everyone have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.